Now, York City Council will meet today to decide whether or not Prince Andrew should be stripped of his honorary freedom of the city.
Well, the meeting follows calls made for the Prince to relinquish his Duke of York title in the wake of the sexual assault case brought against him, which has now been settled out of court and which he denies any responsibility or guilt for.
Well, let's get more on this and some other royal matters as well from the broadcaster and commentator Rafe Heydel-Mankoo. I'm pleased to say joins us in the studio. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Is this significant? I mean, a freedom of the city, how important would that be to the Duke of York? And you know, how much of a blow if he were to lose the title?
Well, there's no greater honour a city can bestow than honorary freedom. And in the case of York, it's been held by some towering figures. Churchill, the Duke of Wellington, have all received this honour. So it's quite understandable, I think, that given the events of the past 2 years, it's, you know, undoubtedly the case that he's bringing that title and that honour and the city into disrepute. He got it in 1987, a year after he received the title of Duke of York, and there's now also a call, of course, for him to lose his peerage title as Duke of York. Now, whilst it's very easy to get rid of the honorary freedom, it's going to be voted on by the council. Getting rid of a peerage title is a lot more difficult, and it's also being called for, I should say, by the city of Inverness, where he's also an earl.
OK, but at the end of the day, Her Majesty will have the ultimate deciding decision on whether or not to strip him of his titles, and she's not going to watch it.
Absolutely, actually, that's not the case. The Queen and the government can remove most honours. People will remember, perhaps, Fred Goodwin, who in 2012 lost his knighthood because of he was the head of the RBS and the bank almost collapsed, so that was stripped. But a peerage title is a different animal altogether. It requires an act of Parliament to remove it. The Queen can't do it herself, and the last time that was done was in 1917 during World War I with the Titles Deprivation Act, which was an act to remove dukedoms from German princes, obviously given the influence of the war on that. So, yes, I don't think there's any chance of the Dukedom of York going.
But whatever the legality or how easy or how hard, the message must be getting through to Andrew. You're a busted flush, you're not wanted here. Do you know, Rafe, do you happen to know, like, are people just shying away from him in general? I mean, he hasn't got an official role. Does he have any unofficial roles, or what is the circle? I mean, if any of us were invited now to some sort of function or association with him, I presume everyone would run a mile.
Yes, I mean, he has an inner coterie of friends, and they've been seen attending events with him on the Windsor estate where he still lives. But yes, he's persona non grata. He's been sent to Coventry by everybody, and he's lost all of his other honours and positions. So I think this honorary freedom is the last one.
I just wonder where it leaves him with somewhere like Royal Ascot coming up. Would he brazenly appear there?
Well, given the attempts he made to ensure that he had a prominent position at his father's memorial service, escorting his mother down the nave, I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see him at Royal Ascot.
Well, this is the thing, when you talk about his inner coterie, and I suppose part of that is his mother. And we've been hearing, haven't we? We see Charles, we see William out working every day as working royals. Prince Andrew in the doldrums, not being able to go out and do that, but very close to his mother, filling his days, having tea with her, saying, "Mother, it would be nice if I could walk you down the aisle," and influencing her in a way that Charles and William can't, because they're busy doing the work of the monarchy. So lots of speculation about whether he might maybe be able to wheedle his way into some of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations against the wishes of William and Charles. Yes,
absolutely. Well, we know that Prince William and Prince Charles were opposed to his predominant role in the memorial service, and I think it would be a disaster to have Prince Andrew, or indeed Harry and Meghan, actually, for that matter, on the balcony. This is supposed to be an occasion to celebrate the Queen's 70-year reigns, and all of the focus and attention would be on those three wayward royals.
Do you think that, you know, under Prince Charles, as and when he does take the throne, any of this will be tolerated anymore, or do you think that he will essentially not excommunicate, but, you know, just say to his son and to his brother, "I'm sorry, it's just got to stop"?
Yes, well, I think everyone knows full well that Prince Charles and Prince Andrew have had an estranged relationship for a long time, and it's really only the Queen that is keeping him within palace boundaries.
I'm just reading here, Rafe. 100 national treasures, 100 national treasures.
Are you one of them, Eammon?
He is.
I have no idea. I got an invite for this, right? So I'm one of them, and I'm being offered to ride along in the pageant procession in an open-top bus that represents each decade of Her Majesty's reign.
Well,
I'm not sure where they're going to put me.
I wanted to ask.
Friday, because you're busy on the Thursday. I'm using you. We're doing our show. You can't be off on a bus unless you're doing it for GB News.
What are we doing?
Well, we're covering it for the show, aren't we?
Oh, I'll be on the bus. I'll be on the bus. I'll wave to you.
You'll be there with Sir Cliff and Dame Shirley, so let's hope that, you know...
Gary Lineker.
Well, I'm very honoured.
Read us a list of who are your fellow national treasures.
Oh, there are Paralympians. Alan Titchmarsh is there, right? Heston Blumenthal, the chef. James Martin as well. Gok Wan is on it. Shirley Bassey's going to be on it as well.
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, so apparently there'll be 4 sections in this parade. So there's they'll represent Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland. So probably in the Northern Ireland bus. There you are.
Speaking of stories in the papers today about royals, there was one about you today. Did you see that in the Mirror?
Oh, nice stops.
You and your favourite royal Camilla.
Prince Charles once raised concerns with Eammon Holmes about the way the TV host hugs his wife, Camilla. He said, and this is a true story, he did say, should I be worried about the way you hug my wife? Because you're not allowed to touch.
And what did you reply?
She is my favourite royal.
Good crack.
She is my favourite. She's great crack.
She's absolutely superb. Anyone who's met her, actually, dispels all the myths people have about her. So down to earth. You can have a cheeky fag and a drink with her, which you couldn't do with most people.
Donald Trump said that this week as well. He was talking to the Queen and then he had to turn and talk to Camilla. He didn't know what to expect and he found her delightful company, interesting and humorous as well.
There you go.
But, yeah, there we go.
All right, Rafe, thank you so much for coming in. Lovely to have you in our debut with us on the show. Rafe Heydel-Mankoo, royal broadcaster and commentator.
So, Rafe, really busy sort of summer ahead for you then? Absolutely. Non-stop going ahead. Let's just hope that we don't have another washout like we had 10 years ago for the Diamond Jubilee.
No,
you can remember.
Yes.
So, and especially, let's hope it's not an open-top bus for you. Oh, yes. No, you're right there. I got drenched that day as well.
The sun always comes out.
But, you know, good luck to you. I hope we see lots more of you, in the run-up. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. OK, stay with us. We've got lots more coming away, including the top sports stories, Novak Djokovic's return to Wimbledon. That's with Paul Coyte in a moment. Basil Brush is on the bus as well.